YouTube, man, what is up? Welcome back to another hood vlog with your girl Nation Clay. Today, man, we out here at Riverside. We about to do a part 2 for the hard part. I know y'all checked that the first part out when I was in the hard part with the older generation. Somebody reached out, more of the younger generation, asked could they do the part 2. Which I'm very excited for this part 2. The reason why I'm excited for this part 2 is because I met this person out here one Sunday. Today is Sunday, Riverside, and they was doing I met them out here on the basketball court. The reason why I'm excited for this one is because this person that y'all about to meet for this interview has some very like just the stuff that they're doing right now. But I ain't gonna say what they're doing. I'm just gonna let y'all see. It is so positive for our communities, you know, because it really shows how creative we can be. It just shows another perspective in the ghettos, in the hood, and it just shows that we can be more in this life. And just him, what he's doing, you never know how many youth that he can impact, or what he's about to show, and his skill and his brand and his business. And I want everybody out there who do music or whatever, make sure y'all hit him up after this video and support his brand, support his business, because this what it really is about, you know, showing the good side of us in the ghettos. You know, it's been enough for showing the negative side of us in the ghettos, and that has hurt us a lot, man. It has hurt us so bad, you know, in our communities, from the youth, from when we was kids, from the older generation. It has really put so much damage to our community, and I feel like it's really time for a change, you know. So these videos that I do, these hood vlogs is really just to show another perspective in the hoods, a positive perspective, to help outsiders and just people in the world to get to understand us a lot better, because I know we are very misunderstood in these communities, from the school system, everywhere. You know, we come from a lot, from our household, we go through a lot, we lose a lot of friends. I lost over 10 friends to gun violence. My last close friend I lost was in 2020. He got shot on Brentwood, you know, and I was in Postbrook, and Postbrook is next to Brentwood, you know, and that stuff bothers you, you know. You stop crying. I lost my first friend in 2015, you know, when it was like a situation going on in my neighborhood, and I decided to go off to college. You know, I went off to college in Chicago in 2015. You know, even though I had a very tough life and hard struggle, even trying to get into college, God still made a way. And I went into college in Chicago, and the best decision that I ever made in my life, you know, because it taught me that life it's all really about choices. Like, no matter where you come from or whatever, or the opportunities, we don't have the same opportunities. A lot of people think a lot of us in the hood have the same opportunities as everybody else, and if we had the same opportunities, then you wouldn't see a difference versus rich versus poor, or you wouldn't see a difference in our school systems compared to kids who go to suburban schools, you know. So we don't have the same opportunities. We're not privileged. We got to really grind out here. But one thing I learned in this life is that we do have choices. We have opportunity. We have a free will to choose a way that we want to go. And during my college year, I lost one of my friends, my first friend, Lil Will, to gun violence, you know, and that really bothered me, you know. And I just want to make change for the youth. I know my life is limited like everybody else, so the time that God blesses me with, I want to use it in a way to really help the youth and make a lane out here for them, you know, before my time is up on this earth. But thank y'all, man. We about to get in tune, connected with this vlog. Don't click off this video, like this video. I see y'all next clip. Let's go.
We down here, was called the hard part. We right here at Roach and Harding. Back in the day, this was called the bottom. Then it was called the Harding Boys. Then they named it the hard part. We right here in front of the historical building, Frenchie's, French Tips. This right here was a grocery store. We all grew up in this neighborhood. A couple of the same age, some of us a little bit younger, so you got a different generational perspective. My Uncle Ron is out here. He's been over here probably longer than all of us, so he can kind of break down a couple of things from us. So we're gonna start pretty much on Harding, talk about some old business, a lot of the black businesses that was down here. This was all black neighborhood that owned all the businesses down here that's black owned. We can go down the street where Long's Bakery actually started at. A lot of people don't know that. They believe Long Bakery started in Hallville, but it actually started right here on the corner of 26 and Harding. We had a couple record shops, we had a couple barber shops and beauty shops all along here. So we're just gonna get started. We're gonna kind of walk and talk and kind of almost a part 2 of what we did last week. So we're gonna walk down here to the corner. It used to be called Willie's Corner. My name is Kevin Griffin. I'll be 50 this year, so I moved up. grew up over here since 1974. I kind of moved out, but I come back. I own property over here. My story is, oh man, as a kid, running around here playing football, basketball on dirt courts, growing up to get into a couple of different avenues, hustling and selling whatnots, to now, I'm a fireman with the Indianapolis Fire Department. I've been doing that for the last 17 years. I'm a military veteran. I went to Afghanistan for a year. So this is my neighborhood. Right here on the corner, it used to be called Willie's Corner. It was a barbershop at the bottom. Everybody, this is where you got your hair cut at. I think Willie was the first person that we seen, especially as a black man, that we understood that you can make it. Willie had a Cadillac, drop-top Cadillac. He had a motorcycle, and he had a vintage pickup truck. And he did. He had all the women. He had all the women. And it's crazy because my daddy would drop me off. I would give my haircut, and my daddy would never pay Mr. Willie. I would get up and leave, and he'd be like, it's just like repetitive. Every single week he would cut my hair. And one of the funny stories is my cousin Peanut Paul, he said to this day he remembers coming in, and I think I was probably 8, 9 years old, and I was like, Willie, can you line my mustache up? I ain't had none on my face. But this is Willie's Corner. It had apartments upstairs, and next door to Willie's, I think Mr. Red's Cleaner was there, and then we had a record store. I think this is where this building is right here. I actually own the property right here. I acquired this property and renovated it, so I'm a property owner now. I went from just staying over here existing to being a part of the neighborhood, having a stake in the neighborhood.
What can advice you can give to like the youth to get to that level or that stage in their life?
For the youth, you can accomplish your dreams. You can see your dreams, you can accomplish your dreams. You don't have to bump your head first before you make it. And I always tell guys, the guys you call the square or the guys you call the nerds, them will be the ones who usually make it. Don't end up out here on the corner. My dad lost his life right down here. My dad and a guy in my crew in a double homicide right down here on 27th Street. They lost their life down here. A lot of our friends, a lot of our family members lost their lives right here on this block. You don't have to do that, man. You don't have to come up, get you a job. Hustle money is fast money, slow money is good money. And that's a lot of things, and it lasts a long time. It's longevity.
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Charles, man. Fat Cat. Been in the neighborhood 46 years. Shit. I grew up on 26 in Harding and Roach is Harding as well. And just, you know, I acquired properties over here once I was a little bit older as a youth. We doing what young youths do, running around, enjoying ourselves. You know, me and Jacob Love, we hanging. Me and Mike, he was young, but he was there. And, you know, you get that sense of you feeling like you have something. When really what we was chasing wasn't nothing. It took for us to get older to understand. To realize we was rich as youngsters. We wasn't rich in knowledge though. That knowledge came after we bumped our heads or got older, had kids, had family, but when it kind of really mattered for us to take hold, we wasn't ready. That's how things kind of fell to where they're at. I grew up drinking quarter juice at Frenchie. Now my cousin, he's opening up Sweet Treats right here on Harding and just trying to revitalize just that feeling, because we all grew up with a feeling like these are my brothers, even though we're from a different mother. So that's me, that's my story.
Absolutely. I'm gonna let the OGs go ahead and go first, man. I'm gonna let them pass.
Yeah, I'm Mike, aka Fat Cuz, you know. I've been around here for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, these my OGs, you feel me? We moved there, they was always on my head about, you know, owning property and stuff. I wasn't listening, but you know, now I figure it out, now I know what, you know what I'm saying, know what to do. I got a lawn care business, TNT lawn care service, you know. And I just be, you know, be around and just making sure everybody's straight now, you feel me?
Yeah.
I left the hood for a minute, I'm back over here, you feel me? So,
Get it together.
that's what it is.
Now they call me the mayor, but it's the real mayor right here.
I'm Jacob, been here since 75, went to Northwest, went to Purdue. I always thought this neighborhood was a nice neighborhood because it's 3 miles from downtown. It's by IU, Indianapolis, Purdue at Indianapolis, Methodist Hospital, Indianapolis 500, Marion College, used to be Marion College, now it's Marion University. Highway 65, 70. This neighborhood always been a nice neighborhood. And then Riverside Regional Park, we just never really thought about it as a good neighborhood. It took some other people coming over here, investing in it and saying, hey, we need to start investing in it. And that's what we've been doing. But the memories here, like
Willie's Corner used to be right here. He cut my father's hair. My father's like a World War II vet. I didn't know that. He cut my nephew's hair. So that's like 3 generations. Then you got the Canal, you got Clifton, Mr. Dan's, where the Indians used to play down at the Bush Stadium. All that was part of our neighborhood, but we just kind of took advantage, not advantage of it, took it for granted.
Yeah.
But now you see newer houses built always outside of the city. And that, a lot of people ran to that and chased that, but you always want to have something you can pass on to your kids or to your grandkids, or have something like, hey, this is our neighborhood and we still have an opportunity to keep this our neighborhood. We don't want to come over here 5 years from now, like it's getting faster and faster, and say, man, we used to own this, but now we don't own it. All the prices went up, but that's how the game changed. Prices went up downtown, out east, suburbs, whatever. But you want to, if it's a bad neighborhood, you want to go out there right now and own it, fix it up, and then pass it on to your kids. And that's how you gain that generational wealth.
Absolutely. And I say, last but not least, man, my name is Shane Shepard Jr. My family reside in this neighborhood for 3 generations now. I say close to west side all our whole lives, but my grandfather, Stephen E. Shepard, man, he lived over on Udale. He was a legendary member of this community. You know what I'm saying? He played basketball, but he fell victim to, drugs, and he had a downward spiral within his last few years of his life. But I'm not gonna speak on his downfall. We're gonna speak on the upper half.
Sure.
Legendary history, man. He touched a lot of people in this community. He had a great game, great knowledge to spread. You know what I'm saying? His life was just a byproduct of his community at the time. And my father, same story, but a little bit better, man. He had another chance at it. He was a little younger coming into it, you know what I'm saying? And he was a byproduct of being under his father's wing. And he came in the game, man, without much guidance, and he really got out here and created a name for himself. And that name became Shock G. A lot of y'all may know of it in this neighborhood, a lot of y'all may not, but I myself am a 3rd generation. I'm Shane Shepard Jr., and I'm creating a new initiative, something positive for the city, and I'm doing it right here in my neighborhood. And I consider myself a liaison from the adults to the youth. I interact with the OGs. I talk to these guys on a day-to-day basis. Kev, Fat Cat, we got meetings that we do, and you know what I'm saying? We're really about to create some structure, and I'm gonna let the real OG, my OG, tell y'all more about that a little later, man. But when we get down to 26th Street, I'm gonna show y'all what I do exactly. We're gonna speak to the youth. And like I said, I'm gonna show y'all how that liaison, as far as me being the youth, to where y'all can see the OGs, y'all can see the kids as well, man. So y'all just stay tuned, really get to know us. Like I said, it's HardPart. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, Schwartz was legendary.
For that,
Like, you know what I'm saying? For the Schwartz family, get some attention.
that's a
and,
multi-millionaire.
yeah, that's getting windows put in it, you know what I mean? That's gonna help this property value, because we ran through the Schwartz as youngsters like clown, like nah, man. And just to see it coming up, just your mentality got to change. Like, one of the better houses growing up in this neighborhood was this one right here. This corner house, how it used to look.
He owned the church, didn't he?
Yeah. These houses right here, back when we was small, was what we looked up to and wanted to be a part of. You know what I mean? Because how nice they look. Udale had one of the nicest, cleanest blocks. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was people successfully making it over here. Frenchie Tibbs, he owned 100 properties over here. Like, so us coming up as little Smurfs, that's what he used to call us, little Smurfs.
If you ain't never been called Smurf,
If you ain't
you ain't
never been
over
called
here.
Smurf, he ain't for real. So he would call us little Smurfs and giving us that guidance, like, hey, it's more than just running around playing, you know what I mean? So we trying to get that back, that feeling back. For real.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. This house right here, like you said, this is one of the better houses in the neighborhood. You see that green across the top of that brick?
Yeah.
He didn't want you sitting on there, so he would take some kind of oil or something and rub it out. So you couldn't sit on there. If you sat on there, it was tar. That's what it was. And you sat on there, it's gonna mess your clothes up. So he made sure you didn't sit on there.
Right there. Me and his son grew up.
Tell him your name,
We
OG.
came. Oh, I'm Ronnie.
How long you been over here, Uncle Ronnie?
Oh man, since '66. Yeah.
Where'd you work at coming there, huh?
Methods.
For how long?
16 years. I was there. I started in '78 to '94. I was 16. I had just turned 16. I was 16. I just had. I was almost 17.
Who else worked at Methodist?
Wayne Bishop.
No, your family.
Oh, my sister, my brother.
My granny.
Your mama.
Yeah, my mama retired from there.
So this is my uncle. He's my brother, my little brother and sister. He's their uncle, so he's my uncle too. I watched him get up and go to work every day. So knowing but not knowing, he gave us a work ethic.
Yeah.
He had the nice cars, he had the clean cars, he always clean. He looked a little funny today, but he was always clean. And we kind of talked about the Ritz.
I came a long way, baby.
Yeah, he actually used to DJ in the Ritz, and I forgot all about it until he brought that up today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna walk down this way and get some content going down here. OG.
Omar Shadi.
This is OG right here. He actually never left the neighborhood.
Boy, right on the deuce with me.
Tell him who you are, Owen, how you been over here, how your family been over here.
Hey, shit, I'm a part of this neighborhood, third generation. You know, my grandfather, he was the first black electrician in this city, Carl Williams, and his son was Ronald Williams, and I'm Ronald Williams' son. So my people been
Also, his daddy was a musician.
He was a little bit of everything, you know.
Yeah,
we jack all
rhyme,
trades.
yeah, big rhyme.
So,
yeah.
You know, I inherited a lot of strong genes from my kinfolk and whatnot, but my grandfather moved on the block probably like in 1949. I seen pictures of 26th Street when white didn't even exist. They put white there so people didn't have to go all the way down and make that left. Wow. So, yeah, born and raised, West Side.
Yeah, so we're gonna walk down. Yeah, my childhood friend actually owns this building right here. I think he's the only brother that owns a building right here on the block from back in the day. Like I said, this is part of Frenchie's.
Tell them more about Frenchie, man. I feel like they left Frenchie a little underappreciated. Like they spoke on his behalf.
I'll tell them about it.
Give them some stories. Let them know who Frenchie really was and what he was.
I'll tell you about French.
Let them know. Let them know.
Come on,
I feel like French was a little underappreciated, man.
Yes, sir.
He definitely got some more rank than that. Come on, man.
Okay, for example, this right here, this was a record store long time ago. This was a record store. It was Alvin's record store. No, Alvin record, well, yeah, Alvin record store, both these sides. You could go in one side, in this door and come out the other. This was a record shop. And so, over the years, they took and divided it and made it out of it was a store, some kind of store, I forgot. I can't remember too much what it was. But they took and did this and hold on. Alvin, and I forgot what this was.
Talk about it when Frenchie came over here.
All right, Frenchie started down the street down here at
Roach and White Street.
Roach and White. But before Frenchie came, okay, this was the record store, and then that right there was Poppy's pool hall, right next door, and then the apartments. After that, it used to be Shaker's market. He was a Jew.
And see, when Frenchie,
But after that, Frenchie had came home, and he moved from down here on Roach.
Frenchie, I grew up.
He moved.
I grew up on the 1200 block of 25th Street.
Yeah.
And Frenchie was on the corner of Roach and White.
Yeah, he moved on. He moved from Roach and White.
The thing with
Right
Frenchie was
here.
he was the first guy to show us that you can make it. Frenchie actually owned all this building.
All that building.
Not only owned the building, if you needed a payday loan, if you was hungry, he was gonna make sure you got fed.
That's right.
That's the kind of guy Frenchie was. He also gave people opportunities. Butler's Pizza that you guys talked about in the first episode. Butler's Pizza moved over here. Frenchie had barbecue places. If you if you needed a place to cut your teeth with a new business, Frenchie would let you do that here. He had housing upstairs. My little brother actually lived upstairs. I think he paid like $200 a month for rent. So Frenchie always made sure he took care of us.
Yeah.
He actually built a big house over off 36th and Clifton, 35th and Clifton, 34th and Clifton. And the house to us back then, it still is a mansion.
Yeah.
He had F&L for Frenchie and Lena. Lena was
Even his garage was a living quarter.
First carriage house in the neighborhood.
Yeah, a lot of times, to be honest, we always talk about Frenchie, but his backbone was Lena. That was his wife. So it was Frenchie and Lena. It was F&L, and that's what they had on their gate over their house. They had F&L for Frenchie and Lena. So a lot of guys, my buddy Black Mark, as we call him, Marcus Tarvin, he actually worked here in the meat department. So they gave people their first jobs. So Frenchie, he wasn't only a friend, a mentor over here. Legend says Frenchie had probably over 100 houses in our neighborhood.
Yes, he did.
So a lot of people stayed there. He was everybody's landlord over here.
Yeah.
So Frenchie was a very wise man. He was a very honorable man. He had a lot of respect. I never seen Frenchie mad. And like we said down there, if you've never been called Smurf, you ain't from over here.
He didn't call me Smurf.
He called us Young and Smurf.
Yeah, all y'all youngins, he called y'all Smurf.
The ticket house, that was the original lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the original.
This was the original lottery. And actually Gypsy, the ticket house Gypsy is actually my sister's grandmother. So I grew up in actually the ticket house that's set right here. It faced Roach Street. And then we have right here the Rich Lounge. When I was coming up, a gentleman named Teeter owned Rich Lounge. He owned Rich Lounge and he owned Sea Island. And then
I was DJ Ron.
He was a
My
DJ in this
back there was ICE Parker T.
Iceman Parker T.
Yeah. Hold on. Now look here. Hold up. Turn around. Right there. That was Harry's filling station. And then after all that, after he died, that was Brady's Body Shop.
About the first Long's Donuts.
Yeah, we're gonna get down here and show y'all where Long's Bakery originated at.
Now, okay, on this side of the street right here, we had one shotgun house, two shotgun house.
What exactly is a shotgun house?
You go in and go straight back. Yeah.
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 So right here, this is another corner store right here.
Right here?
This was called Miss Mabel's. It's been renovated now, but this was Miss Mabel. This was a corner store. Growing up, this was actually my first job with the paper route, and this was on my paper route right here. And
She still own it?
No, she doesn't own it right now. Another gentleman I went to high school with owns it now. This lot right here, this empty lot, this is where Long's Bakery started at.
Right, this lot right here?
Yep, this empty lot right here is where it started at.
For Long's Bakery.
Long's Bakery started right here.
Shop, black on.
Alright, y'all, so look, we about to make a slight transition, man. This is where I actively live at right now, man. We got kids on our block that been waiting this, man. We told them we got a YouTuber coming to showcase some of the kids, get some of their perspective. So y'all show them in that natural element. That's Nana right here. Introduce yourself, Nana.
Good.
Tell them who you are. How old are you?
7.
You live over here, right here. That's our people's house right here. Let me give a little explanation. So this right here, you know what I'm saying, we got still up and coming demographic of people that's, you know what I'm saying, struggling. And we got a lot of youth over here that really, you know what I'm saying, could be impacted by some positivity, you know what I'm saying. For a long time, we had OGs out here standing on the block, just posted up, you know what I'm saying. And the reason I don't really much come outside and do that, because not a lot of positive, you know what I'm saying, positivity is being spread in these circles of conversations. They talking about stuff that's really not active, you know what I'm saying? So the new generation, like I said, we just want to showcase them, showcase their perspective, their thoughts, because they're going to be the ones that's out here in the future. So, you know what I'm saying? See if you got any questions for them. It should be awaiting you, man, definitely. Hey, kids, come on outside.
Hey, Shy.
They scared, right? I told her, come on, don't be scared now.
Camera shot.
Okay.
Where it's at. We used to ride up and down this street doing wheelies.
This where the dirt court was at.
Dirt
This where we
court.
played dirt court ball at.
We come over here and
dirt
mess up
court?
our brand new Nikes playing on the dirt court.
What's that?
Basically,
Basketball
it was a
court
that
and the
we
grass.
played in the grass so long that the grass disappeared to dirt. And we made it look like a square of a basketball court. We had the court put up right in the middle pole back there. And that was dirt there for some years. That was there for a decade. Who put that court?
Rain and we still be
Tony and
out
my
there.
father put it in. That was
Brand new
All right,
Jordans
so look,
in the dirt court.
This right here is a little doodle ball. The reason I want to get them on camera is because, like I said, they actively live in this neighborhood. So if we doing something for their hood, I want them to look back, and when they 15 years old, they gonna be able to see, like, man, I was 5 years old, I was 6 years old, whatever it may be. So y'all just smile, introduce yourself, say hey to the camera, and tell the people who y'all are, where y'all at, what's y'all hood called, what street y'all on?
I live in North.
26th Street.
I live in North.
How old are y'all?
7.
This is, tell them who daughter this is, y'all. OGs, give them a description of JT Money real quick. Let them know, man. Let them know the history real quick, man.
It's crazy. JT Money, we pretty close in age, probably a year or two apart, but he was like my OG.
Yeah.
He was, it's crazy because JT always was built. His whole life,
Man.
he always worked out.
He walk like this down the street everywhere he
Since
go.
we was kids though.
Yeah,
You know his walk.
Yeah, as a kid, if JT turned the corner right now, it could be pitch
He'll
black.
walk
I know
down
it's
like
JT.
Yeah. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
But he always stayed in shape. JT always, like the guys you see in New York, lifting up on the telephone pole and stuff like that.
Yeah.
JT was always in shape. He felt like he was a lot older than us, but he really wasn't. He was just a little bit older. And a lot of guys over here respected him. He's actually the first party guy that's over here gang banging.
Yeah,
And he raised my daddy.
when it comes to doing the wrong, JT was the first to do wrong.
That's what I was gonna say,
man.
man. My dad coming up, like a part of his, you know what I'm saying, history was JT Money had a big involvement in it,
In
man.
his history,
He
yeah.
was, you know what I'm saying, one of the people that he watched and looked up to and clung to at a pivotal age in his life, to where the stuff that he seen he was doing or perceived that he was doing, he wanted to do it and amplify it, you know what I'm saying? And that caused a trajectory of his lifestyle that, you know what I'm saying, made it a little bit bad for him. So that's why with the kids on the block, even though generational, you know what I'm saying, history, I still want to make a different path for the kids. I take these very kids swimming, I take them to the movies, I take them outside. They call my phone every day like I'm their dad. Baby Shane, you coming to pick us up today? If I ride down the street, they gonna scream like a choir, Baby Shane!
Yeah,
so every time, you know what I'm saying, I just make sure I'm trying to do something positive with the kids and make sure we really got some stuff to do, because it ain't nothing to do out here much right now, you know what I'm saying? So we lead the hood, we go
He's
do
a
other
village.
stuff, for real.
It takes a village. And that's how we grew up. We had his dad, Abdul.
Abdul used to take us.
Man,
He showed us what it looked like to be a man.
Take us to
Yeah.
the boys
It
club.
wasn't a lot. Matter of fact, these two right here probably, besides Shane, maybe the only two guys that I actually know that had their mother and father. A lot of us did. A lot of us come from single parent homes. So when we seen his father Abdul, we clung to
Walk down here
him.
with
We
us.
had
Got the rest of the kids
Mr.
down
Tony
here.
right here. He's been painting quite for 50 years.
He's still paying.
He's still painting for 50 years. He gave a lot of us our first jobs.
Yeah.
If we couldn't work for Frenchie, we come here.
He gonna work.
And beyond, he gonna work it. He gonna pay you some crumbs, but he taught us
So
work
y'all give
ethic.
him
He
the
showed us
miles.
how to paint at an early age, and he helped build the dirt court right here.
He owned these lots. He had owned these lots for some years, man. He used to let us come over here. We played on the grass all
Let's
day,
walk and
all
talk.
night,
We got some more people we gonna
till it got dark.
So this is 26th Street right here.
Yeah, this is the block. I stayed in them doubles right here. E-Deuce, the Cobb family, they stayed right here. Teresa Thomas, Camille and her family stayed right here. Yeah, this is us.
A lot of people came from other blocks. Like I said, I was on 25th Street. So you had people from 27, 28. We all migrated to 26th Street.
I used to deliver paper in Capitol Street.
What you gotta say? You got something to say? No.
So this was a lot of big families that was on 26th Street too.
Yeah, the Deuce turned up for some years. Back in the 90s, it turned.
And a lot of those guys right now, they either they dead or they in prison, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, they not out here to say they peace right now because of the chaos that was going on before my time. And that's why certain perspectives, I can't speak on them. I'm quiet a lot in this video, but I like the OGs to speak on behalf of that, but not glorify the negativity, and I don't hear them doing that. 'Cause it's a lot of stuff that really was going on, man. This hood is, and right now to this day, like, people know what this hood is capable of, you know what I'm saying? And it's not of nothing to glorify, it's just, it's what comes with this type of territory, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in certain environments, growing around certain people, and being in certain predicaments, you bound to, you know what I'm saying, come out a certain way, man. And a lot of those people didn't have enough insight and knowledge to make it out of their perspective. So these are some of the OGs that went through everything that we're speaking of. They went through the hardships, they went through the craziness, war. They still right here standing and walking and talking with us today. They was able to map their game out and really make it through, man.
This is one reason I come back. I want to show the kids
Ball
that
head.
you know you can do the right thing. And me being a firefighter, a lot of times my firehouse is right across the river. So when I go get fuel, I bring my fire truck through here and blow the horn all the time, so the kids can see somebody who looks like them that's doing something positive.
Yeah, that is important. Like, cause I was working in the school system, and I would always try to push, like, people to like bring more people in with different careers that look just like them, so they can see
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
That way you can see your dream. If you see your dream, you can realize your dream.
Yeah, that is true.
And then a part of what I do, like, so I'm gonna start to tell y'all more about myself now that we walk down this way. So my name is Sicko Boy, man. I do Hit the Stage. It's an up and coming podcast platform and a music entity that's helping out the artists in our city. And I started off doing that based on me just having the expertise in just small areas. I knew how to do videography, photography. I was a rapper. And, you know, looking up to the people that we look up to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't have enough resources to do the stuff that they're doing. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to grind it out and get the stuff that I wanted. And eventually, I was able to accumulate enough equipment to where I was able to invest in my own podcast. And that podcast, man, in this very hood right here on 26th Street, we've been having all of our artists in the city of Indianapolis come through and showcase what they got, you know what I'm saying? Showcase some of their talents. And that's been an honor for me, man, for my legacy and for my history, knowing that my father, he brought this building to the you know what I'm saying, community in 2016 for youth. He did it. That's called Before You Fall. And that lasted for quite a few years, you know what I'm saying? We made quite a great impact in the city, but his time passed as far as that mission and that motive. And now it's my time to take on this property and do what I gotta do, man. So my job right now, man, is just inspiring the youth, man, doing what I do. They all look up to me, they all wanna be around me every day, so I just gotta make sure my daily lifestyle is in alignment to make sure I can have kids around me. So my job is literally positivity. I wanna make a big impact on our city, connect with people like Nation that's really coming out in the hoods and showcasing what we got and what we really doing, because it's enough bad stuff being glorified in the city of Indianapolis. Like, we got so much terrible stuff being glorified that we need these deep insights and these perspectives of the people that's actively in the community trying to make a change, you know what I'm saying? So there's no faking. We live out here, we do this for real, you know what I'm saying? So we just happen to be, you know what I'm saying, busy that day potentially, you know what I'm saying? We was out in the field, inside our homes, you know what I'm saying? But we wish we could have came out and told y'all a little more about us that first time, but that's why we're here now, man. Here coming up, man, we got a special guest that I want to showcase to y'all, man. This is my father, Shane Shepherd Sr. He about to take over a little bit and let y'all know exactly some of the history that he know about this hood and some of the significance of some of the stuff that's about to be brought to this hood, man. So y'all stay tuned, man. Sharp fella, I say, pretty handsome. Y'all let him take it from here, man. Who you are, start rolling.
How you doing? I'm Shane Shepherd, aka Shock G, aka Shocky Westside, HardPart, Bottom Boys original. Was here when all the mayhem went on in the 90s. Glad to see that my community trying to come together, do something different. I myself served 12 years in the penitentiary, and when I was there, I learned what my ailments was. The main problem with violence and what I was doing was poverty. Once I got out of my poverty mindset, I tried to bring that back to my community. And so you probably heard of it before you fall. We done switched it over to honor my father, who passed in the beginning of this fentanyl epidemic, and is now the Stephen E. Shepherd Community Foundation. And what we do is we try to keep these young people together, bridge these generational gaps. And so if y'all follow me just a little bit, man, I'm gonna let her ask me whatever questions she may have, show her kind of what I do. You know, in this state of Indiana, I have a right to bear arms and protect myself. I understand what my constitutional rights are. So if you do happen to see anybody with a gun, believe me, they legal gun owners, because I own this property right here, my organization does, and my son operates it, and he's the co-owner of it. And I'll get you in there, but before I do that, I'm also gonna show you that we own these lots, so we own from here to the corner. And what we plan on doing is all these kids that don't have nowhere to go, nothing to do, I'm gonna utilize my brain and the training and my skill set to turn this into a beautiful community space. Down here be my father, Stephen E. Shepherd Community Garden. Have it there, put a bench there, fence it off, you know, redo the whole thing. Back there on this one side is the Big Homies of America. They own this, it's a divide. So one organization owns this, other organization owns this and this. So we're gonna put the playground here, curve it around, you know, backyard, big park, you know, that type of stuff. So that's what we do. And the reason I'm doing that is because I made it. I made it out, and I have what you call survivor's guilt. I made it out of hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm a married man, multiple business owner, taxpayer, have all my legal gun rights. I vote, I do all that. So I'm back in franchise. A lot of people disenfranchised, can't work, can't figure it out. $10 ain't enough. That's what I do. I teach people how to go from disenfranchised to re-enfranchised, get back in the system, get in the game, learn how to play it. Let's stop killing each other from hood to hood. Here's my declaration right here. Peace, right, with me. Whatever you got, that's on you. I'm gonna protect myself however I must, but what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna abandon this. I'm not gonna abandon these kids, because I see nobody picked up the mantle. I've been gone 2.5 years. I see a lot of violence, interruption, reduction, and I don't knock it. But what I do is a little bit different. We do it grassroots from the bottom. We do the whole shebang. If you're a 7-year-old, we got something for you. If you're a 20-year-old, we got something for you. If you 40, we got something for you. The reason why, we focus on black men. Nothing is really focusing on them. No knock to no other program or nothing nobody do, But if not us, who? If not now, when? When we gonna step up and help each other? When we gonna stop beefing? We killing our own force. We killing our own army. Every time a young black man died, that's one of God's children that could have been standing up saving his other people. He could have been the next Messiah. He could have been the next Barack Obama. We don't know, but you killed him for nothing. And I'm not saying that I'm an innocent person and I ain't never done nothing in the whole world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but when I change, allow my change to be what you see to motivate you to the next level, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I'm an author. You can catch me at Shane Zulu Shepherd on all social media platforms. My website, HardPartPublishing.com. HardPart Publishing.com. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this young lady, this beautiful young lady, with a couple of copies of my book. So I want her to actually read the book and really figure out what the hard part was like back in the 90s and how this situation got to be what it is and why you seen 5 names on the concrete that all came out of one house. It's a spell and a curse that we as black people have accepted as our own, and we operating out of emotion and we killing each other for no reason. If you expect forgiveness from the justice system, if you expect forgiveness for God, you gotta learn how to forgive your neighbor. If I done something to you, please forgive me with all sincerity. If you done something to me, I forgive you. It's about him, it's my son. It's about them, these kids. It's about these men that grew up over here. Gentrification is happening. Just go look at Chicago. If you don't stay in your own hood, guess what they gonna do? They're gonna make you go to another hood, and that's what that's gonna do. It's gonna start a gang war. So guess what you should be doing? Take after what these men over here are doing. It's about 6 or 7 of us, and we all own 2 or 3 properties apiece. We not selling. You know why? Because these property values going up as the people move in and people can't got nowhere to go, hang out. I'm gonna tell them, remember I told y'all years ago that we should have did this, and now that I've accomplished it and we accomplished it as a cohesive collective unit, shout out to big homies of America, then what we should be doing is setting this model in every ghetto across America, because one thing people don't know about me is when I went away, I went to business school. So I do things different than a lot of people say. They see the work because I write the plans, hire the personnel, pay the personnel, and I put a shirt on and get out there with them. So I think they be thinking that I'm not the brains behind the operation. But a lot of the plans, a lot of the things that go to violence and eruption, the city of Indianapolis paid for me to go to Oakland. Only 2 of us, and we both live in this neighborhood. We the only ones get out the car with the Crips and the Bloods and walk their turf to see how violence and eruption really went. It looks different on paper. It sounds lollipopish. Shout out to Ron G. He just lost his life. You see what I'm saying? He was a man in this community fighting hard to stop the violence. Whatever means he had, he operated those means. He lost his life. They should have already cleaned him up, gave him his rights back. Here, man, you're gonna have to have a gun because the police got a gun, a taser, a radio, and backup to deal with the same problem that they expect us to deal with real little budget. So what I've done is when it got black men, black businessmen, and told them, hey, listen, man, I don't want to be sponsored by the government because it comes with a lot of strings. What I want to do is pull y'all to the table.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Man, it's your boy Sicko Boy, man, the founder and CEO of Hit the Stage. And man, I feel like that I needed to bring Nation out here because we needed to showcase from a multi-generational perspective what our hood is, what we got to offer, and some of the positivity that's coming out of it, man. So I'm gonna give y'all a little tour, man. First things first, like I said, I want to give a big shout out to Nation Clay. She's doing her thing, man. She's making a big impact in our city as far as our social media network and expounding our hoods to the next level, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come check us out, man. So I'm gonna start y'all off right here in the shop. I'm gonna introduce you to the owner of this space right here. This is my woman. This is my girlfriend Amari. We've been together since we were 16 years old, and we live here together. Let them know what you do.
Alright, hey y'all. My name is Amari, aka Raw Styles. As you can tell, I do hair. I specialize in locks, but I do everything: quick weaves, ponytails, sew-ins, braids, whatever you can think of. You can find me on Instagram at RAWSTYLZ_. You can find me on Facebook at Amari Ward. Yeah.
Make sure y'all get tapped on my styles. Like I said, we just trying to bring something new to the generation, you know what I'm saying, as far as our hood. We got some new stuff going on. This hill used to be, or this house in particular used to be used for a lot way worse stuff. Used to be drugs sold here. It actually was a church at one point in time, but now we walking into this space. So this used to be my father's business where he did his nonprofit organization called the Before You Fall. All right, y'all, and this is where the magic happens, man. So this is where I created an idea for the greater purpose of the city of Indianapolis, man. I feel like in general, our city lacked within the music scene, and there's so much more that we could be doing on the ground and make sure that we get to that next level. And I felt like we wasn't gonna make it there if nobody really start. Like I'm about proof of concept, man. So I tried it out, man. With my last couple dollars, I invested in this here banner. Told myself, man, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta lock in. So I paid about $150. And I was in an organization to where these microphones was at my disposal. And I shout out to Kepper, man. Kepper's over there on Boulevard. They doing their thing. Big shout out to them, community organization. Big pivotal part in my upcoming. But long story short, man, I was, like I said, just trying to do a proof of concept just to see if this would be good for our city. And I had bought this backdrop. I had my camera already, and these mics was the only thing that I was missing. So I told them that I wanted to borrow the mics for 72 hours, only 72 hours. And within that proof of concept, over those 72 hours, my video accumulated like 100,000 views plus. And by the time that I came back with the mics, I was telling them like, hey, you know, what we gonna work out, but I might need to keep these mics because I think I just found my purpose. And like I said, man, I just want to do for the greater good of the city of Indianapolis. I want to inspire the youth. I want to be, you know, I'm 20 years old. If y'all didn't know, I'm 20 years old, and I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying, showcase what it is to be, you know what I'm saying, from the city of Indianapolis. Like I said, nobody's really shedding a light on us, nobody's giving us opportunities, so why not create an opportunity that we can all benefit from? I want the artists to go crazy. I want the people that come on here to do big things so our city can be amplified. And it's all about the city with me because this is where we come from. And not a lot of light is getting shed on us. Again, they call us Nap Town. They sleep on us out here. So, man, we got to wake them up by any means necessary. And music is my means to do it. So I'm going to take y'all to one more spot in my home. This is my studio. This is what I built, and this is something I'm very proud of because I did it all by hand. I painted the room. I built the wall in between to where it could separate this room from my bedroom, and I built the booth by hand, and I taught myself how to do studio engineering. I actually taught myself how to do all the skill sets that I'm speaking about: videography, photography, studio sessions, and that gave me, you know what I'm saying, the position to where I'm at now, man. So let's go in into the studio real quick. We're gonna end it off there. All right, y'all, so it's a little messy in here, man, but this is my atmosphere that I created for artists to come through. Like I said, we're still in the same neighborhood that y'all seen in the very beginning of the video, and this is my addition. This is the way that I'm bringing my family's legacy into play by creating avenues for myself. I don't work for nobody, so you know what I'm saying, I create atmospheres like this to where not only for the benefit of my city, but for me as well. As a young black man up and coming in the community, I didn't want to work for nobody for $20 an hour at a warehouse, so I decided if I got the opportunity and the skill set to learn how to do studio engineering, I got the software at my disposal, I got a little budget to put me a studio together. Instead of me going to work for another man's company, why not create myself an avenue to where I can make $40 an hour sitting here doing something that I want to do, you know what I'm saying? So I want to encourage the youth with that very statement, man. I want y'all to do more things that you like to do for a living to where you're not boxing yourself in based on the world's view of success. Success looks totally different now. We in a new age, with a new world, and success could be whatever you want it to be based on the means that you want it to be. And with that being said, man, chase your dreams, follow your passions, and put the work in. They say it's a 10,000 hour rule. In order for you to really be successful with something that you like to do, man, you gotta put those hours in. So right now I'm putting in my hours, I'm putting in my work, putting in my training. And I want to build, like I said, a lifestyle brand. All the stuff that I do, I want to do this stuff on a day-to-day basis anyway. So find out how you can get paid to do the stuff that you want. Create avenues for yourself to where when you look in the mirror in the morning, you know that you're being you for a living and you're not going to be fake you at work and you come home and you being somebody else. And I'm not knocking people that work jobs. I'm not saying don't work jobs, but for those that's not getting this advice, that don't have that courage to jump off and do what you truly want to do, chase your dreams, bro. We in a new age. In Nap Town, we going up 2024, man. HardPart.